The following video has been supported through Patreon by Mein Herr und Meister, The Cannibasier, Jemand zum gemeinsam Abhängen, Pelicious, Cleveres Kerlchen, Noel, and the Patreons Shining Arrow and Crack. So you guys are probably wondering why it takes me so long to release a best and worst episodes list after the season has ended. I mean, people like Dr. Wolf managed to have theirs out barely 2 weeks after the season's finale. Well kids, first of all, if you compare yourself to Dr. Wolf when it comes to release schedules, you are in for a lot of pain, because this canine among the equines is the one true workhorse if I have ever seen one. Second, I invest a lot of time and effort into forming a perfectly put together conglomeration of diverse people and minds to get as close to the true objective opinion as possible. This season's Random Livestream Council had it all. The senior members, their companions, a British brony who also happens to be a ninja, a lawyer, the girl who is on record explaining why bronies are the worst thing ever, some weird fox demon creature, the Polish dude who draws stuff with boobs in it, and of course your friendly neighborhood bi-headed monster. So I dare to say that the extra time my video took to be produced was well spent. Because thanks to this very elaborate and masterfully crafted rating board, the list I am going to base this video on is beyond any doubt the most accurate— What the hell?! Princess Spike is supposed to be the by far worst episode not only of the season but the entire show? The third episode ever to score below 0? Worse than the bad of Mysterious Mayor, Duel and Somebody to Watch Over Me combined? And you guys are telling me the second worst episode of season 5 scored the same amount of points on the opposite side of the spectrum? Screw this, I'm going with a completely arbitrary list based on rewatchability again. Hello there, this is AnYPony and welcome to my list of the top 5 yay and nay episodes of season 5. And yes, if the Random Livestream Council ever deserved to be called random, it surely managed to do so this time around. Seriously guys, minus 7.1? If I ever needed a reason to ignore the opinions of other people, here I have it. But obviously I am going to take all the good arguments the council made and sell them as my own when I am going to explain why I placed an episode where it ended up on my personal list. If you're wondering what criteria we scored the episodes by, check out my season 1 list, I explained it in detail there. And while you're on it, also watch the other season top lists. After all, you can never watch enough lists on the internet. So, here we go. Number 5. Neigh! Interestingly enough, also the 5th worst episode according to the council. Made in Manhattan. This episode doesn't do anything in particular wrong. However, it also doesn't do anything interesting. Dialogue and entertainment have just been meh, and so was the overall result. Number 5. Yay! This one actually didn't get a lot of love from the council at all. It didn't even make it into the upper half of the leaderboard. And for me personally, it was a runner-up for the number 1 yay. I am talking about Amending Fences. While I still enjoy this episode very much, I can't deny that no aspect of it really reached extraordinary levels, and all potential aside, the characters and as a consequence the dialogue had a lot of room for improvement. But still a very enjoyable episode I can rewatch anytime. Number 4. Neigh! While I can't stop shaking my head about the astronomically bad rating the council gave this episode, I never said it was good. Princess Spike is one of those episodes with great potential that start out well enough before completely falling apart towards the end, forcing Spike into the bad guy position in the 3rd act, so it seems justified to make him learn his lesson, even so he did a great job for the majority of the episode. The ludicrous behavior of the diplomats as well as Cadence, and of course the asinine, contrived plot devices like the dragon sneeze trees. Sorry Neil Dusado, but you left tongue-in-cheek territory there and entered facepalm land. But hey, I have seen worse debut episodes. Number 4.
Yay!
Rated best episode of the season, being the second episode to date with a perfect score. Canterlot Boutique. I guess here a very interesting aspect came into play that caused this episode to score so high. Bias. While the Random Livestream Council actually looks rather diverse on first glance, featuring male and female analysts, reviewers, reactors, artists, musicians and fanboys from around the world, we all have one thing in common. We all are content creators. And like Suited Success before it, Canterlot Boutique is an episode that speaks directly to content creators and their struggles. This isn't saying that this episode is not pretty fantastic. However, it might not be as flawless as we experienced it during the stream. In fact, the entire first half with Sassy's over-the-top, bitchy and disrespectful behavior is actually a bit painful to sit through repeatedly. Words of Rarity with its 4 to 5 different iterations and this single sentence by Sassy that basically says everything about her in less than 10 words are absolutely masterful. But not enough to keep this episode in the number 1 yay spot, where it has been sitting until I finalize this list. Number 3.
Neigh!
You recall what I said about bad debut episodes? Some Pony to Watch Over was absolutely atrocious, but I honestly like all the episodes Scott Sonnenborn has written ever since. However, it is a red flag if your second episode is still bad. Especially when you're allowed to play in God mode. God of Chaos mode it is. Seriously, how can you screw up a Discord episode? Let him do his usual shenanigans for 20 minutes and even an otherwise mediocre episode will still be fun to watch. You have to go out of your way to make this unentertaining. And that's exactly what Neil Dusado did. The entire supporting cast, minus Spike, was one-dimensional to the point of out-of-characterness. The promising conflict was handled sloppily. But this was craftsman's work in comparison to what Neil did to the premise. Yes, a running gag like the one in the episode is a typical case of you must have been there to get it. And I give Neil an A+ for conveying this experience Twilight is going through to the audience. However, this is still a piece of media that is supposed to entertain, and I dare to say that the number of people who considers the artificial experience of not getting the joke entertaining is very small. And absolutely nobody wants this from an episode of MLP. So at the end of the day, Discord's admittedly funny pop culture references feel tagged on, and an otherwise great and important message, even the Princess of Friendship is allowed to feel jealous, is lost in this mess. Maybe I am harder on this episode than it deserves, but I really hate wasted potential. Number 3.
Yay!
I really love this episode, but I have to admit its weak moments become more prominent with every rewatch. The cutie map. How was Starlight's plan supposed to work again when no pony is allowed to leave the village, when she has to manually remove each cutie mark one at a time, and when they only have this tiny vault? Why did Pinkie have to turn from the most perceptive character into the bubbling idiot who feeds essential information to the evil cult leader she openly mistrusts? And how did things work in Party Favor's head? Either he believes Fluttershy has turned, therefore him sacrificing himself for his friends would be pointless, because he has to expect her to rat them all out anyways. Or alternatively, he understands that the main six actually have a plan, but then his following behavior wouldn't make any sense. And of course the most infuriating nitpick ever, why destroy Starlight's otherwise amazingly subtle, misguided antagonist persona with this on-the-nose, fourth-wall-breaking evil glare? But all these complaints aside, this is still an episode I can rewatch anytime. And I dare to say that its quality only became stronger with the season finale. The Cutie Map. A stupidly named but otherwise intense two-parter featuring a fantastically characterized main cast with a surprisingly mature conflict. Number 2.
Neigh!
let's keep this one short. Party pooped. The yucks are annoying as hell, Pinky's trip was just zany and barely got a laugh out of me, and overall an episode, while not bad, I don't need to ever rewatch. Number 2.
Yay!
While I dare to say the Cutie Map is an objectively more cohesive and better polished story, this one I could easily watch twice as often simply for the spectacle. The Cutie Remark. Fast-paced action, time travel, and half a dozen imaginative alternative timelines featuring the return of all your favorite villains. And the Flim Flam brothers for some reason. Anyways, you wanna know how I feel about this episode in detail? Check out the Analysis Bronies Reacts video over on Cellspec's channel. And now, for the one episode of the 5th season I have the least interest in ever rewatching. Number 1.
Neigh!
Appaloosa's Most Wanted. The jokes are not funny, the plot doesn't make sense, the CMC are season 1 levels are stupid, and I'm overall bored by this episode. And there is no worse verdict on a channel called ANY Entertainment. And as always, before we get to the number 1 yay, here are some other noteworthy episodes of the season. The Scaremaster, not only for its beautiful visuals, but its absolutely brilliant conclusion. Make new friends and keep Discord for being a fun, colorful Discord episode full of charming characters, old and new. Do Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep for being a fanciful spectacle that moves the character of Luna along like barely any other episode. Crusaders of the Lost Mark for establishing Diamond Tiara as a true, multidimensional character. Oh yeah, and this other thing that finally happened.
And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Number 1. Admitted, this episode features a lot of borderline cringeworthy humor, but the way this humor itself got handled within the episode made up for it. And to be honest, I'm a bit surprised how high this one ended up myself, especially given how little I cared about it when it originally aired. I even had forgotten about it until I marathoned the season. So, let me explain why my number 1 yay episode of season 5 is Brotherhood Social. Why this could have easily become one of the most painful episodes to watch, and I have no doubt it is for many viewers after all. What made it work was how Polsky handled the cross-dressing joke very tongue-in-cheek, and how basically no pony fell for the disguise and instead just ran with it. What really makes this episode special is the long overdue character building for Big Mac and his relatably desperate situation. Living in the shadow of somebody else and the feeling to lose relevance to the people you care about. But unlike Luna, who compensated her fears by going megalomaniac supervillain, Big Mac does a more approachable attempt, first bottling his feelings up, but once he sees an opportunity to get back into the game, he tries something irrational and silly. But we also get to learn what really helps at the end of the day. Talking about it, sharing your feelings, helping others to understand you. If the ongoing cross-dressing joke drives you away from this episode, I can respect that. Not really relate to it for obvious reasons, but respect. For everybody else, I can only recommend rewatching this episode once more. Well, I guess there's one more episode I should mention after all. The special prize for most awesome WTF moment of the entire show goes to Slice of Life. Writing-wise, this episode is bad. Like, literally bad. We gave it a negative score for narrative, what puts it in the company of Rainbow Falls, Mysterious Mare-Duel and Some Pony to Watch Over Me. But unlike any of those, Slice of Life was a fantastic joyride I could probably rewatch 1,000 times. So why is it not the number 1 yay? Because it is not an episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Until any of this shark jumping insanity gets ever picked up in another episode, I consider this an episode from a parallel dimension, or an Adventure Time episode featuring ponies, or what it actually is. The result of Hasbro telling Emma Larson to go nuts to please those crazy fans on the internet. And as I said in my collab with The Voice of Reason, turning the rules of the show upside down every 100 episodes sounds great. This is AnYPony's saying, see you soon.
And that is for calling me British, Brony. Also, I know this may be a bad time and all, but hi, I am such a big fan. Can I get your autograph? I'm going to take that as a maybe. I will come back later.
Ow!
On this journey